Hello and welcome. This video is brought to you by the StreamingAdvisor.com. Tailor your entertainment with streaming. And what we're looking at today is the new app for Hulu on the Amazon Fire TV. They just got the new app this week, and we've been running around with it, checking it out, and we want to show you what it's all about if you haven't had a chance to see it yet. First off, let me tell you that the good news is that you don't have to do anything to update the app. It automatically put it into place for me. You do have to be connected to the internet, of course, but as long as you're connected and fully functioning, you are going to be able to get right in there and see the new app as soon as it's on. Now, something that I noticed right away when I got this app is that it operates pretty snappy. I was concerned because on the Apple TV, another video we did, I found it to be kind of hard to control. But with the new controller, well, actually not the new controller, but like the new platform with Fire TV, the Fire TV remote just lends itself to a little bit more control because it's tactile. So it's easy to get around. I like the menu here. If you notice the horizontal menu here, it's actually kind of a lot like what you've got with the Fire TV. So if you're already familiar with the Fire TV in general, if you own one, then that app is going to feel kind of native, kind of like it sort of should on the device itself. I like the categories. They're logical enough, although I don't understand all of them. I don't really get lineup. Some of the things on lineup are things that, I know that we've watched, but some of them aren't. And so I'm wondering where this comes from. It might be, it looks like it could be based on some things that I'm interested in, because I've definitely seen some of these shows like The Last Ship. This is my profile. See, it says Ryan up at the top. So this is obviously built for me. But still, again, some of these shows I've never seen, so maybe it bases it based on, if you like this, then you might like that. Keep watching is fairly obvious. This is things that you must have started at some point, even if you didn't watch it all the way through. TV is just a selection of the TV shows. Again, I don't know what they base it on, but I saw America's Got Talent has come up twice already, and that's a show that I never watch. So let's see. Going into movies again. These are movies. They're not necessarily movies that are in a watch list. A lot of druggy kind of stuff, isn't it? A lot of this stuff looks like druggy stuff. What is that? I've never heard of the Gingerbread Man. An evil, adorable gingerbread man. Okay. If you watch, see what it says. It says watch if you enjoyed Evil Mong. And see, I didn't. So, I didn't even see it. Anyway, I guess that's beside the point. But the truth is that it's not difficult to get around. And it looks like they've taken into account some of the problems that have been present before, in that it's too hard to read the menus. Now, they still stuck with the white font. I don't really like the white font on the colors, because you'll notice if you go into something like this, it's a little more difficult to read it, versus when it's against the blue background, you can read it just fine. I think that they should steer away from things that don't clash enough. And this is really only for those who have vision problems. I might be able to see this, but I'm concerned that, older people or just people in general who have vision problems might just, squint a little too much just to read, what's this, what's that. The categories are good. Having a Hulu Originals section is good because you can just zoom right in, kind of see what you're paying for, versus just TV and stuff like that. And being versatile enough to add something like nominees is also cool. You can kind of catch up on what everybody's buzzing about in Hollywood. New TV on Hulu is a new category for this app versus the older Hulu app. And that's cool because it gives you a feel for what's out there and what's new to check out, as well as the new movies, exactly the same thing. So let's jump further in. By the way, if you press the back button, you're going to go straight back to the very home screen, and I like that. It doesn't matter how deep you are into anything, you press the back button, boom, you're in home. Tap it twice. It's really, that makes it easy to deal with. But under my stuff, this is things that you watch. There's nothing on here that I haven't at least started. And you can even see the little bar. It'll show you, how much have you seen, That is cool because, that helps you, find the things that you're interested in already. There's no doubt that you're interested in something that you've been watching unless you hated it, I guess you're stuck with it, but that's the way they go. Movies, same deal. If you've checked something out, it's most likely going to show up on here. Expiring is a cool section because now I better watch that before it goes away. And networks, this is actually a vestige of the live TV deal. If you have a specific thing that you've been watching, it's going to pull it up, but outside of some things like ABC, which actually has on-demand stuff, the networks thing doesn't make a lot of sense. Now, you'll notice you only have a 2-column deal here, and I wish it was more. That it's enough so that you can get a feel for things, but I just wish you could see a little bit more. It almost looks like a Roku interface here, doesn't it? Except it's not three rows. The little section here with the popular new on Hulu, that's helpful. And of course, if you want to go from A to Z from any network, you do. Let's see what the last thing in ABC is. 0 Hour. Very good. But in general, going to networks, it's a little confusing. You see, it doesn't pull up all networks. This is just under the networks under my stuff. On the other hand, you go to Browse, and you've got a different menu that says networks, and that's where you're going to find every network that has content on Hulu. So that's one sort of somewhat confusing thing about the menu. It's nice that it shows you different categories under the TV. And so in general, I think this is an attractive, pretty good app now. I think they've fixed some of the glaring weaknesses, and it feels a little bit more, definitely a little bit more intuitive. Now, I would expect things like this to have a mishmash. I'm not sure that this isn't all TV and this isn't all movies. You see, you just go to genres, classics, and you've got old TV shows like The Brady Bunch, and then you got movies like Pride and Prejudice, and you'll notice at the top there's a whole lot of little subcategories. There's so many people who watched The Golden Girls in college. It was an old show then. But you see what they're doing here? That's nice. This is a little bit more almost like of a cable-like experience. Wonder who their staff picks are actually by. But yeah, that's just a little bit about this app. Now, we didn't look at the big time their live service. We've done a look at that before. I can put a link to it. That's based on the Apple TV version, but we didn't want to have to go through the hassle of starting and stopping and things like that. But in general, I think they've done a lot of good with this app. It's no longer got such a big learning curve as I think it did before. So, if you want to check it out, all you have to do is go to your search, look for Hulu. You can ask for it. Hulu. Da-da-da-da. And if you're wondering why we didn't launch any video, it's because YouTube has a pretty strict policy on what you can show and for how long can you show it and does it have audio and this, that, and the other. Just didn't want to get into it with them this time. I had to redo videos just because of 15 seconds of somebody talking. So, I hope you found that helpful. I hope you will share this with your friends and subscribe to this channel. As always, I'm Ryan Downey, the Streaming Advisor. Stream on, my friends.